pretending to be disabled. Unashamed, pushing us aside.
What about the people in wheelchairs, people with mobility impairments? How do you feel towards them?
8 people tried to avoid facing up to their fraud, including banking consultant Roxana Kusar from Oldham. Like the rest, she was caught parking with a fake disabled badge. The result, seized cars, criminal records, and up to £1,000 in fines and costs.
This is a big problem. We've got 70 more cases going forward for prosecution. We're investigating 300 at the moment. We've put in extra enforcement resources because we're determined to stamp out this selfish act.
The fakes cost just £50, sold from pubs and the backs of vans in car parks. They save the user hundreds of pounds a month in parking charges, but there's a real cost to disabled drivers.
You're trying to park somewhere and the bays are limited anyway, and you find somebody that's parked there. It makes you very suspicious whether they are actually disabled, but proving that is another matter.
Some of them say you stole their parking, you should take their disability. How do you feel about that?
This woman actually stuck up 2 fingers after we stopped filming. That's how much she cared about being dragged into court.
Police in Greater Manchester investigating a double fatal shooting at a pub have arrested a man. 20-year-old Carlton Alvaranga and 21-year-old Richard Austin died at the Brass Handles in Salford almost 3 weeks ago. A 41-year-old man's being questioned on suspicion of attempted murder. On to football, and just a few months after leaving Old Trafford, former Manchester United skipper Roy Keane will be back to play in his own testimonial match in May. The 34-year-old, whose departure from United last November came as a huge shock to United fans, will have the opportunity to show their gratitude to the man who helped them to 7 Premiership titles, 4 FA Cups and a Champions League during his glittering 12 years at the club. The match will be on the 9th of May against his current club Celtic, who he joined in January. Today saw the triumphant homecoming of 3 boxers from Liverpool. The trio returned from the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, proudly brandishing medals, leaving Merseysiders unknowns David Price and Stephen Smith, who won gold, and Neil Perkins a bronze, returned as heroes. They're all a tremendous boost, not only for themselves, but also for North West boxing as a whole. Now let's see what the weather has in store. Here's Joe.
Granada weather with BMIBaby.com.
Hello again. Still unsettled tomorrow with showery conditions, sunny spells, and on the whole it's fairly mild as well. Overnight tonight, 1 or 2 breaks in that cloud, but plenty of showers still going North Lancashire, Cumbria, clearing skies further south and west, and temperatures down to 6 Celsius. The sun rises tomorrow morning at 6:47 and sets at 7:44 tomorrow evening. Tomorrow it's a bright and breezy day with intermittent sunny spells and dry intervals. Other than that, plenty of showers, some of these heavy and prolonged, particularly into the afternoon, pushing in from the southwest there into Cheshire, the Wirral perhaps, and certainly North Wales. Tomorrow we'll see some heavy showers. Temperatures are just above average to around 13 Celsius, 55 Fahrenheit. The weekend promises more showers to come, turning chillier by next week. Good night.
Granada weather with BMIBaby.com, the airline with tiny fares.
That's it for now. We're back with another bulletin at 6:35 tomorrow in GMTV. Stay tuned for Granada Soccer Night at 11:30 tonight. But now we rejoin the ITV1 Late News with James Mates. Good night.
Hello again. A reminder of tonight's main headlines. In an exclusive interview for ITV News, an Iraqi girl has claimed her family were massacred by US troops. The US military is investigating. The Home Office appears to have got some of today's figures on racist incidents reported by the police spectacularly wrong. And the first football match at the new Wembley Stadium won't now be until next year, 9 months behind schedule. Once upon a time, getting a record to #1 relied on people handing over cash for discs of black vinyl in a shop. Then, of course, came the cassette and the CD. But this Sunday, a band called Gnarls Barkley looks certain to top the charts with a single, Crazy, that isn't in the shops until next week. Well, you've probably already worked out how they're doing it, but here's Nina Nana to explain.
Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy?
It's a song heading for the top of the chart, and you can only get it if you download it from the internet. The act behind Crazy have done no videos or interviews, but tens of thousands of fans have accessed the internet to get a hold of their song.
Crazy is currently outselling all of its closest rivals and is well on course to be #1 this Sunday. But you can't buy the single in physical form until the day after.
There was a recent change in the sort of chart regulations, which means that you no longer actually have to have a physical release at the same time that a download is out. So long as it follows the following week, then a download can actually sort of count towards the chart.
Niles Barkley consists of two Americans, DJ and producer Danger Mouse, who's worked with award-winning acts like Gorillaz, and hip-hop star CeeLo. Deliberately low-key, their band's massive success with iPod users has astounded even the record music boss who signed them.
There's no visual side of it, because we wanted to just let the music on its own see what we can do, thinking maybe we'd have a top 10, top 5 single. We didn't think we'd sell 65,000 and ship 150,000 and have the phenomenal success that we currently have.
Does that make me crazy?
Once it would have been crazy to expect to get to the top of the charts without releasing a conventional single. But with chart history now in the making, the future of music is very much in cyberspace. Nina Nanar, ITV News.
Well, just time for a look at some of tomorrow's front pages. The Guardian says that Tony Blair's supporters believe that the Chancellor, Gordon Brown, withdrew the council tax rebate for pensioners in his budget last week to damage Labour's chances in the forthcoming May elections. Gordon Brown is also mentioned on the front page of The Times. It says he's infuriated public service workers by giving them the lowest pay and phasing salary rises. It says that the overall award was the lowest since 1993. The Daily Telegraph reports that MPs will be protected at the expense of taxpayers from the pensions crisis. It claims a leaked document reveals that contributions to the Parliamentary Pension Fund will have to go up from 24% to 26.8%. And The Sun shows the drug test guinea pig dubbed the Elephant Man, who describes his ordeal when the trial went horribly wrong. That's the news tonight. Good night.
It's like a fat wizard riding a dragon. It's a whale playing golf. Nope, he's in the bunker.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by Powergen.
Hello again, good evening. We're seeing a fairly wet picture across the UK as we move through the night, but those heavy bursts of rain we saw to the southwest earlier on easing all the time, although it's still a very windy picture for you, but temperature-wise, particularly towards the south, it's not looking too bad at all, up at around 7 or 8 Celsius. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, once again, very unsettled indeed. We're going to see a fair amount of brightness across the central swathe, but once again towards the north and towards the southwest, we will see a fair amount of cloud and some rain moving in, and in fact, right across the country, we can expect some fairly heavy showers moving in from the west for the afternoon, but not looking too bad from a temperature point of view, and the sunshine feeling very nice indeed, particularly towards the south and southeast, up around 14 or 15 Celsius, but once again, it is going to be a very blustery picture indeed. That's it from me. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't know what it is. It's a banana, but he's crying.
Positive energy from Power.